we want to get started then?
Yeah, we don't really have anything, do we? We don't really have anything to talk about, do we?
What do you mean?
Alright, we'll just get started. So, let me try this out. Okay, hello everyone, and welcome to the Fantasy and Friends show number 8. My name is Daniel, and we're going to try this. With me are Alok and Jake.
Hello.
What's up?
Yeah, we're going to do 2 at once. Because we have another guest here with us, Max,
Hello.
who is one of Jake's friends. You want to tell us anything about yourself?
Well, I have some fantasy baseball experience, so, I'll have some knowledge, I guess.
All right.
That's good info.
Yeah, it's some good
There
info.
we go. Let's talk about one of your players, Cole Hamels. And we talked about this before we hit record. Why are you skeptical about him moving forward?
Well, statistically, he's not looking very good. And we'll see. His last start, he gave away like 7 singles or something like that. He just really didn't have good command, I guess, and all his stats are looking bad. Like his FIP is like 5, and you can look at other stuff too that just says he's starting to lose his usefulness in fantasy, as well as just real pitching in general.
He's losing his control for one.
Yeah.
Walk rate is up.
Yeah, that's one thing. His walk it's like 15 strikes to 12 walks or something like that over like 5 starts.
His walk rate's up, and if you look at his heat map, he's, compared to last year at least, he's throwing a lot more pitches either down the middle or in the middle of the strike zone horizontally, which obviously is not something you want. And his velocity. Sorry?
Okay, sorry.
His velocity is just like a tick down from last year too.
Yeah,
it's probably not
it
helping.
is. Well, I think it's if he loses the movement on his secondary stuff, he's basically done, because his fastball was never amazing anyways. So it's more about like his weird movement he had on like curveballs and changeups that made him kind of a really better pitcher.
That's
and
true.
His without command, he just doesn't have that anymore.
So the White Sox own the league's leading WOBA versus left-handed pitchers. Max, on a scale of 1 to 2, how confident are you starting against them?
I'm probably going to give him the start. We'll see. For me, it's like so many of my pitchers are just like a roll of the dice, and they're really old. I have a bunch of ancient
Tanaka,
guys.
Felix, Hamels, I mean, you're
Yeah. Well, Tanaka's looking better. I'm excited about Tanaka. He's turned in 3 good starts.
Still the number 2 prospect in the reverse of the league. Just pointing that.
Pomerantz is coming along. Things are looking up. But, yeah, my pitching staff is bad. There's no way around that.
All right, let's move on to maybe someone you would want to replace them with. Okay, Blake Snell started the year in the majors and then was sent down to the minors because he was handing out walks way too much.
Yes, he is.
And what's funny is he spoke with the media a couple days ago, and he's like, yeah, don't worry, guys, I fixed my walks. And he comes back and walks 5 in 5 innings against Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I think I'd rather take Alex Cobb, and he's, not very good, so I don't know.
Well, Blake Snell was fantastic in AAA this year when they sent him down.
Was he?
Yeah, look it up.
I mean, he used to
He
be
was
like
good. You're right. He was striking
That's
everybody
pretty.
out.
He used to
Cut
be
his
like a
walks
kind
down
of
to
big
play.
prospect, didn't he?
He's always been a huge prospect, and he's still 24
Yeah.
years old, so don't write him off yet.
I mean, this is only his sophomore season.
Oh, really? I thought he was older than that.
No, he
Okay.
only threw
Well, he
89
was-
innings last year too. So
Yeah.
in the majors.
So he's still fresh. He's still trying to come in his own.
Yeah.
That
and
said,
a lot
both
of these
this
guys
year
walk.
and last year, he walks everybody. This year he's given up a lot of home runs.
Well, everyone is. The home run
Yeah.
rate isn't,
Well,
his home run rate is not an issue for him. It's his walks.
I mean, Clayton Kershaw's home run rate is like really big, so if that says anything
They're
about where
hitting
baseball
record
is
home
going.
runs this year.
Yeah.
All right, so Loke, I know you don't like him. So we'll move on to someone no one knows who it is. And let's say you have like a Freddie Galvis or a Brandon Crawford at your shortstop. no names, but you may want to pick this guy up. This is one of Oakland's top prospects, who may not be playing much once Jed Lowry comes back because they want to trade him.
Yeah.
But what do you think about Franklin Barreto?
Franklin Barreto. I mean, obviously from his minor league stats, I feel like he could have success in the majors. My one concern right now is his strikeout rate is really high, so I'm just concerned that he might pull like an Aaron Judge from last year or a Tyler Austin from last year, where they strike out a lot their first year for a while before they actually get in the groove.
That is what it looks like. I mean, it's only 4 games, but still.
Yeah, and he doesn't walk a lot.
He has never walked a lot. He's always struck out actually a significant amount, even in the minors.
Well, but it's even higher. It's like 10% higher in the
Right,
majors
it is 10% higher.
Yeah.
Generally his BABIP is good. Obviously, I mean, it has to be if he strikes out that much.
Well, also he's a quick guy. He's got he's got stolen base potential, so that's why you would pick him up.
Right.
If you need the stolen bases, or if you need help at shortstop, like again, if you have like a Brandon Crawford or something.
You mean if you have a Brandon Crawford or a 9th-ranked shortstop, Freddie Galvis?
Or a Freddie Galvis, who did most of his work in the first month of the season.
That's still a part of the season.
I just picked up Andrelton
he's
Simmons, so I'm pretty satisfied with. I'm sure his performance will continue.
All right, so no one likes Franklin Barreto. He's an interesting prospect if you need help there.
No, I mean, I'm not against him. It's just,
That sounds like
I know I say this a lot, but
Barreto.
just no. I know I say this a lot, but I would just like to give him more time.
Yeah, he
No
has
one think-
feelings too,
True.
He doesn't have feelings. These are objects, not
Not just
people.
But he does play for Oakland. Remember that he plays for Oakland.
Yeah, Oakland hits a lot of home runs though.
Yeah, but
Barreto's
that can
not really a
it can only take Oakland so
home
far.
run hitter.
Yeah, but if he hits it in front, I don't know where he hits in the batting order. I don't pay too much attention to. Let's see, where does he hit in the batting order?
You don't pay attention to the A's. The A's are a team too.
Yeah, next thing you'll be saying the Mariners.
They
are a
have,
team.
they
Let's
have
see.
feelings.
He hit in yesterday's game. He hit.
Um,
Or what team am I looking at? Okay, yeah, Franklin.
Oh,
He's
he
toward
went
the bottom
over.
of the order. Yeah.
that was 8th. In his 4 games, he hit 8, 8, 2, and 7.
Yeah, so if he hits second in front of Chris Davis, Ryan Healy, and Oakland is not as much of a pushover as you would think.
That's true.
As I pull up their stats,
I mean, we all hear about Sonny Gray all the time and how great he is, so obviously we know that Oakland has some real potential.
Oakland's about a middle of the pack team in
No,
terms
yeah.
of offense. So
Yeah.
let's move on to another prospect, Ian Happ.
Skipping over Reddick.
Oh, we didn't talk about Reddick. That's right. We can talk about Reddick.
Reddick has feelings too, guys.
Let's talk about Reddick.
That's a lie. That's so much a lie.
Josh Reddick was injured for a while and has come back hitting. Maxie picking him up.
Am I picking him up?
Or actually, we'll give you an either or, okay?
Yeah. What's this guy's name?
Josh Reddick.
Scotch?
Josh
Josh.
Reddick.
Oh, okay.
Scotch Reddick would be a pretty sweet
All right,
name.
let's say you have one spot on your roster, okay?
Pretty
You got to pick up
dope
one
name.
guy. Do you pick up Josh Reddick or Yasiel Puig?
Well, not. I mean, I've gone down the Puig road before, and I don't think I want him, to be honest.
All right, I mean he's hitting.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
All right. Josh Reddick.
Reddick
Okay,
is-
so you're taking Josh Reddick there.
I would take him probably.
Reddick's looking good to me.
All right, Josh Reddick or Aaron Altair?
Josh Reddick. Don't always vote against the Phillies in
Okay, that's a good
fantasy
point.
I mean,
statistics.
we all know how much of an Altair fan I am, but still I would go with Reddick for now at
You
least.
dropped Altair, didn't you?
Yes, I did drop Altair.
If I had outfield needs, which I probably do, I would consider him.
Yeah, let's say you have like a Jose Perella as one of your starting outfielders. Do you pick up?
Jose Perella, do you mean 39th ranked outfielder Jose Perella? That Jose Perella? Which, honestly, I don't see what you have against him. He's hitting 299. He doesn't really hit home runs or anything.
No, I'm just messing up. He's 39th. It's for second base. That's what the ranking is.
Oh, well, there's a lot of good second basemen. There's like 38 fantastic second basemen.
Well, Brandon Phillips is.
I dropped Brandon Phillips.
Josh Reddick or Keon Broxton, who we talked about a couple weeks ago.
Speaking of good second baseman, Eric Sogard. It's one of those. Okay, never mind.
Yeah. Okay. Well. Okay. So let's talk about Eric Sogard. We're gonna skip over Ian Happ and go to Jonathan VR. So the reason Jonathan VR is not playing as much as you may want him to is because of Eric Sogard. Does that make you skeptical, Alok, to pick up Jonathan VR?
Well, VR is also not really playing well this year, so I don't think I would pick him up regardless. I mean, his average is 216. He's striking out 30% of the time. I don't think I would pick up VR regardless, I guess.
I mean, he could come back from the All-Star break and steal 40 bases.
So, what bases? He's not getting on. He's got under 300 on base.
I mean, to be fair, he still has 14 stolen bases, but I don't think that's enough upside compared to everything else about him.
And I know he has 14 stolen bases, but you can't rely on more when he's got a 285 on base percentage.
Yeah, I realize you got to get on base to steal bases, but he could come back from the All-Star break and turn into 2016 Jonathan VR. Couldn't he?
I mean, maybe his seems like just at a quick glance at his other stats. I mean, his soft hit rate is a lot higher than last year, and he's pulling the ball a lot more with more ground balls. So I'm guessing. I mean, he might be hitting to the shift a lot more, so he would probably have to fix that in order to get any better. I don't think it's a luck thing that he could just regress to the mean in the second half of the season. I think there's actually things to fix.
Max, you a Jonathan VR fan?
Yeah, I would say yes. He's he brings value.
All right, that was great. All right, let's go
You're welcome.
Let's go to our last hitter. Someone who is hitting a home run. Another guy who's hitting a home run every day. Actually, not anymore now. At the time that I wrote his name down, he was hitting a home run every day. Ian Happ, who the Cubs seem to be committed to now that Kyle Schwarber is he's
gone. Not doing
he's
so
in
hot.
Cubs heaven right now. So
well, so you mean their weird AAA, wherever that is?
Yeah, so he's gone. It looks like they're committed to Ian Happ. Jake, I know you love Ian Happ. As you try to figure out who he is.
Hey, I am looking at his fan graphs right now. I know exactly who he is.
All right, what do you think?
I don't really know what to say. He looks okay. He had a hot streak coming out of the minors, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm buying it.
You're not buying one of the Cubs' top prospects, okay? Max?
Still okay.
Oh, that's fine.
This is the day of high strikeout rates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Last week,
strikeouts and home runs are up throughout the
Wait, what was last week's thing? I feel like we had a thing last week. Just looking at minor league stats and something like that.
Oh, that was 2 weeks ago.
Whatever.
2 weeks ago was minor league stats, and we're back at it.
Basically, yeah. Well, at least Happ has 40 games this year.
Yeah, that's
it's better than 2 weeks ago, where there were some people with 0.
True.
Yeah.
I mean, Alok, are you picking him up?
Ian Happ. I mean, obviously, yeah, it's a top prospect, ninth overall pick. I don't think we can expect the power that like he's hit 10 home runs in 40 games. I don't think we can expect that. He didn't hit that many in
Well, he
the
hit
minors
9 and
at all.
26 in AAA this year.
Really? Where's he
Sure,
hitting in
but-
the Cubs order? Does anyone know?
What was that?
Where's he hitting in the
It's
Cubs order?
low. It's definitely low.
I think they move him around.
Hold on a
Okay.
second.
Pull up.
I mean, wait, are you asking batting order?
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like they move him around, but he generally stays within the top 5.
So
Mostly-
yesterday he hit
Okay.
third.
So he had third,
Ah,
fourth,
third.
third, fifth in the past 5 games.
Yeah.
So mostly third, I guess.
Well, I mean, he obviously has a lot of upside.
Where does Rizzo hit?
Does he still lead off?
This is-
Does he? I have no idea.
I don't know.
He's 5th. I know Bryant is 4th for some reason.
I don't know. I don't even know.
Well, hey, I don't know. I mean, if Happ is hitting 3rd in the Cubs order, that's a huge RBI and run scored potential.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, well, the Cubs have actually only been
Even if he
mediocre.
doesn't hit home runs. Yeah, I suppose. I mean, yeah, he does have 22 runs scored, and out of 10 of those are from home runs.
I mean, as far as like prospects go, I already have Alex Bergman on my bench, so I don't know if I'd want 2 like super prospects underperforming. I guess that'd be
Alex
my
Bergman's
fear.
hitting now.
He's doing okay. I mean, he started off really slowly. He's doing better. But obviously he's got more upside than what he's doing, supposedly.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Let's look at the matchups for next week. I've listed 3 players that Alok will hate.
Why do you
So
assume
we
I would
have
hate them?
Trevor Williams at home against the Giants. Yolis Chacin against the Dodgers at home, and then Eddie Butler at Cincinnati. Now, this may look like 3 crazy matchups, but there's some upside here. I'll explain that.
Wait, let me look at who they're against. Wait, so Trevor Williams versus San Francisco. I mean, obviously, I can see that going better.
Trevor Williams has given up 3 runs or less in 9 of his last 10 starts.
Yeah, I mean he's doing better lately. His walk rate's fine. His strikeout rate's not great, but not terrible. And the Giants aren't very good offensively, and PNC Park is it's a good hitting park. And I think, yeah.
Okay,
He's
Yolis
also
Yeah.
he's also pitched better at home. So
Can you guys guess Yolis Chacin's home ERA this year?
It's much better than his road ERA, yes. I feel like I heard that.
Okay, his road ERA is 9.08.
Yeah.
That's not his strikeouts per 9. That is his ERA. With
Yeah.
just about a 2 whip, 1.991. All right.
He's one of my best Reverso League pitchers.
Yeah.
Just want to point that out.
So what's his home ERA then?
I'm
Any guesses?
thinking it has to be low.
I mean,
I'm going to say like
I have
3.
it up right now, so I can't guess.
Look, you're always cheating with these.
I already had it up.
Okay, he has a 1.83
Wow.
ERA at home with a sub 1 whip.
This is Chacin?
This is Yolis Chacin.
Versus
So he's at
So
home against
he's
the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't
That
don't
looks-
do that. Please don't do
Don't
that.
do that. I'm not.
I don't think so. The Dodgers kill San Diego all the time at home, so I'm not going to make that choice, I don't
I
think.
mean, yeah, the Dodgers are pretty scary. I mean, so Dodgers, San Francisco, Cincinnati's also pretty good. Pretty okay.
Yeah, but Eddie Butler's been pretty good since.
Eddie Butler looks like the most promising of these three pitchers. He's only
I like
pitched
Trevor
9
Williams,
games.
but,
You like who? Trevor Williams?
Yeah,
You like Trevor Williams?
Yeah, what's wrong with Trevor Williams? I told you,
Uh,
of
5
his past
ERA.
9 starts, only once has he given up more than 3 runs.
5 ERA.
Trevor Williams did not start out well. His first 5 starts were awful. So his
Okay.
his season-long stats
Fine.
are going to be a little inflated. But since May 13th, like I said, since May 13th, he's given up more than 3 runs just once. And he was at Arizona once. He was home versus Arizona. Faced the Cubs. He was at Milwaukee. So some real.
This is against San Francisco.
Yeah, he looks okay.
Who can't hit a beach ball.
I mean, you could also put it as every
I'd start him
he's
against
had,
San Francisco.
besides 2, have had game scores above 53, which is fine for a
There you
spot
go.
start.
There you go.
It's true.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Okay.
I think he's an underrated pitcher. I don't know.
Alright,
that
so I'll
think
take Williams as my first pick, Butler as my second, and I don't want to take Chacin.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
I'm actually, yeah. I can see Cody Bellinger hitting a home run versus Chacin, but is Seager's back, right?
To me, Williams and Butler both seem like a pretty decent idea, but I mean, now that you mentioned that Williams has been better recently, I guess I'll take him over Butler.
All right.
Even though Butler has the better overall stats.
Yes, well, Eddie Butler hasn't had as many starts.
Well, yeah, right. That's true. And
he doesn't go deep into games. He's only thrown more than 6 innings he's only gone past he's only gotten through the 6th inning once. So there's a lot of 5 innings, 4 innings, so not a lot of strikeout upside.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, his last start, he only had 1 through 5 innings, so.
Yeah,
but it was against Washington,
yard.
which is a good team offensively. So.
All right, we can look at what we did last week.
He's got promise.
So last week, Jordan Zimmerman at San Diego.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Oh, boy.
Pick him for that.
Wait, we need to start writing down who we pick.
Well, I mean,
I forgot.
It's a pitching park, but last time I checked Jordan Zimmerman, he was not doing so hot. I might be wrong.
Before the San Diego start, he had a few good ones, but
if
I remember correctly.
4 straight quality starts.
Really? Okay, so he's gotten stuff kind of figured out.
No, but then he blew up.
Then the San Diego start. Yeah.
Then Mike Montgomery actually did well in Miami, 6 shutout innings, and Matt Moore against the Mets was not great, I believe.
Yeah, Matt Moore is always kind of a dodgy play.
Well, Matt Moore is another one of those Yolis Chacins. His home ERA is actually pretty good.
Yeah, he's a big roll of the dice.
But none of us
For
took
sure.
Matt Moore, did we?
I don't know. I threw him on.
I feel like I took Montgomery.
Okay.
Is that
So
Mike?
let's get to the. Wait.
Yeah, guys, go write down who you're taking here.
Oh, okay. I mean, it's not a big deal. We're not placing bets on it or anything. It just.
Yeah, no, but I mean, we always talk about who we took last week, and we never know who we did. So.
I think I'm gonna be. I'm gonna be different, just so. Oh, Loke's just copying me. Okay.
Oh yeah, well, this is like war of the. I don't know.
War for the Planet of the
us
Apes. Okay, so
versus
Jake
you.
and Max are taking Williams, Butler, and Chacin, and then Alok and I have Williams, Chacin, and Butler. Okay. So
Sure.
the Cincinnati kind of scares me, so that's why I'm.
That's fair.
So Eddie Butler, I think, keeps the ball on the ground. It's not. Okay, so let's get to the trivia from last week. So,
Okay.
Jake, just remind us what the question was.
All right, so it was, just to remind everybody, it was a 2-part question. The first part was, what is the shortest time for a 9-inning professional game? And then the second part was, what is the fewest number of pitches for a complete, aka an 8 or 9 inning start in MLB history? So I'll start with the first with the first part. Do you guys remember your guesses? I guess.
We wrote them down.
All right. So Daniel said 1:30. 1 hour 30 minutes. Alok said cheating bastard because he is a cheating bastard.
That's accurate.
All right. So the correct answer, it's a bit of a trick question. The fastest MLB game of all time. Give me 1 second here. Yeah, the fastest MLB game was in 1919 between the New York Giants and the Philadelphia Phillies. It was 51 minutes long. But the shortest professional game of all time was in an independent league between the Asheville Tourists and the Winston-Salem Twins in 1916. That game was 32 minutes long, or 31 minutes, I'm sorry. The reason for that was one of the teams had to catch a bus. It was a 2 o'clock game, and one of the teams had to catch a bus at 3 o'clock. So they got together and made a friendly agreement to start the game half an hour early and play as quickly as they could. And they ended up finishing in 31 minutes, which was before the game was scheduled to start. So in my opinion, that's a pretty impressive feat there.
Maybe it's the future of baseball.
That's a really fast pace of play.
It really is. And it was
It's
full 9 innings. So it's 3 minutes, right?
What was the score?
Roughly. The score was 2-1. 2-1 Twins.
Okay.
The funny thing is,
Figures.
in the 51-minute New York Giants versus Phillies game, it was 6-1. So that's not exactly a pitcher's duel. It was still
Oh,
that
wow.
fast. Yeah.
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 Okay, and fewest pitches.
The fewest number of pitches was in 1915. I'm sorry, that's not true. Well, the number is 58.
Jesus.
Trying to look up when he did that.
Okay.
It was a pitcher named Red Barrett.
Red Roughing.
Red Barrett in 1944. He was on the Boston Braves against the Cincinnati Reds. Just 2-0 shutout, 9 innings. He faced 29 batters. So
Wow.
anyway, that's that. Those are some fun facts. What do we have? Daniel won the pitches. He was closer by 1.
Yeah.
And then he also won the time. And then his guess was he had a horrible guess, but he wasn't a cheating bastard. So
I won by default. Okay. So
Good job, Alok.
we'll get to this week's topic. I believe I'm the only one that has seen this movie, right? Well, obviously, it hasn't come out in theaters yet.
we get it.
They showed this. So the
cinephile.
screening for this movie was 1 day before it gets released, so that's when you know. And it's The House. It's the Will Ferrell, Amy Poehler comedy. Basically, they're parents and they lose their daughter's college fund, and so now, of course, they turn their house into a casino. Right?
Yeah, I saw that trailer.
I think I've done that before. Yeah.
Yeah. So Max, you've seen the trailer. What do you think about it?
I mean, it could be funny. I used to love Will Ferrell for years. I don't really know if his recent stuff holds up as well, but
Yeah, so
I guess we'll have to see.
I
It's
will
no
tell you,
elf.
there's definitely a bunch of funny parts in this, and he is great in it. He and Amy Poehler are actually really good. The audience had a lot of fun with this. There's plenty of laughs.
Okay.
Obviously, a lot of dick jokes and stuff like that, but
Yeah.
there is some smarter humor. The only issue is, and I told you guys beforehand, the story is just kind of, it's so over the top that you don't believe any of it. Like obviously,
Mhm.
like just getting from the premise, you could figure it out, right?
Yeah.
And it's just so ridiculous, and you don't really connect to any of the characters. Like I couldn't even tell you what their names were. I just know it was
Yeah.
Will Ferrell and Amy Poehler. I don't even remember. I think I had to look it up after I left the screening. I was like, oh right, his name is Scott, but I really don't.
Spoiler.
Yeah, sorry. Spoilers. Will Ferrell's name is Scott in the movie. It's really, again, the scenarios are so over the top. The characters, even his character is kind of, they give him something about him. I won't say what it is, but it's a little unbelievable given how over the top it is.
That's
just
yeah.
kind of a trend with this movie is just over the top.
It's just Will Ferrell for you.
Well, I mean,
know.
it just sounds like your typical like meaningless comedy. That's
It is.
just
I think if you're
throwing
a
a bunch
huge
of
like
jokes
Will
together.
Ferrell fan and you love the like Anchorman and those sorts of movies, I think you will have a good time with this.
Yeah, you pretty much know what you're getting into when you
I'm
go to
not
a Will
sure I
Ferrell
would
movie.
like go see this opening night. Maybe you catch it with your friends on like a Netflix show. And I do want to rant about one thing because basically there's movies you've seen movies with like agendas, right? Where like they want to talk about some like political view or whatever. This movie is
Fair.
very blatant about wanting to promote marijuana. So basically,
Really?
it would make
That's
sense
interesting.
where like Amy Poehler and Will Ferrell are casino owners. They probably get into like alcohol, right? Because there's a lot of alcohol there. So they do get. There's a scene, not a spoiler, but they get drunk one time. Okay. But then another like subplot, and you can't tell, but I'm using air quotes because it's not really a subplot. But Amy Poehler's character gets into marijuana
Oh
for
boy.
some reason. And there's literally a scene in the movie that they just stop the movie, and she turns to Will Ferrell, but she's basically turning to the camera and saying, "Weed is great. I love weed. There's nothing better than it." And I'm just like, oh my goodness, it's like this is so blatantly a weed ad, and obviously the
That's
director is for, and I'm not going to get into the politics of it, but it's
Wait,
just
is
kind
this
of annoying,
Apatow?
huh?
Is this Apatow?
No, it's a first time director. It's from the writer. The director is the writer of the Neighbors films.
Oh well,
that's
yeah.
great.
There you go. You know.
It's his directorial debut, but it's so blatant and it's so over
Yeah.
the top. And the funniest
It's
thing
not
was the
very
woman
subtle.
sitting next to me every time, because after every one of those phrases where she was like, "Yeah, it's great, it's good, I love it." After every one of those phrases, the woman next to me is just like, "Mm-hmm." I'm just like, "Oh my goodness." and I was like, now that I think about it, I do kind of smell some of it on you. But
And maybe the movie was designed as a sting operation to catch marijuana users.
it's definitely like it was so blatant, and like there's no reason for her to get into it. It doesn't have anything to do with the final, like the plot at all. She just for some reason just starts smoking marijuana, and it comes up like a few times where she's like smoking it, and then they cut to something else. It's just it feels so blatant, and it was just
Yeah, it's kind of weird to see messages being that blatant. Usually, like, directors will be at least slightly subtle, or they'll try to be, even though it's, they can't be because it's a comedy.
I'm fine if you want to do it. Just at least make it part of the story or something else like that. Like a film that comes to mind is like Zootopia, where they talk about like racial equality and those sorts of things. But it's actually
Yeah, well,
part of
that's
the
the main
story.
point.
That's a
It
much
makes
better
sense.
script.
Yeah, it
You
makes
know,
sense.
that's a higher quality film.
Well, obviously in general, yeah. But
Yeah.
but with this movie, it's just thrown at you, and it wasn't needed.
Yeah,
There's,
that's
because
fair.
this movie is already over the top anyway. Like I said, they get drunk anyway. So
Yeah.
I guess if you like marijuana, you'll love it. Anyway.
Oh yeah, maybe they're targeting a certain audience.
They are. I mean,
You're probably
obviously
right.
They are.
Yeah.
Certainly what they were doing with Neighbors.
I mean, it's like a college comedy
This movie is
sort of.
not as good as Neighbors. I will say that much. It's kind of like a maybe catch it on Netflix if it comes out in a few months, but
Yeah.
not really. It's kind of the third most interesting movie coming out this weekend anyway. So
Yeah.
Fair point.
you're better off just going to see Baby Driver.
Oh yeah, that's supposed to be interesting, right?
Yeah, it's pretty good. If you want to see my review, it's on the Fantasy and
That's
Friends.
true. He saw a screen.
I saw it about a month ago, and yeah, it's probably my favorite film of the year so far.
Wow, really?
So far,
Does
yeah.
look very, very good.
That's good. I wish more, interesting films came out in the summer other than just big blockbusters. Some of them are really good, but some of
Baby
them are
Driver's
kind of
definitely one
just
you're gonna want to check out though. So.
yeah.
I mean, that's one of that's what you're talking about.
I do think The House has some enjoyment though. So if you do like these types of comedies, you'll like it.
Yeah, I'd probably like it. It's worth checking out.
I think that's it. Yeah, the main thing I wanted to talk about was the marijuana thing because it was just so ridiculous. But that's it. I mean, I forget who the sporting cast was. If it does the daughter, it doesn't really matter. It's kind of it's very predictable. You know how it's going to end just from the premise, right? I don't need to tell you
but
how.
that's
Oh,
not
yeah.
that's not the point. The point is just a
but
stand-up comedy routine, basically.
Well, yeah, but
It's just a template for Will Ferrell to be Will Ferrell.
It ends how
at
you
the
think
end
it's
of
going
the
to
day.
end. So everything up until then is meaningless. Like
Right.
you don't care when you see how how they lose the money in the beginning. Which, by the way, I kind of had a little of a problem with anyway. But I'm not going to get into that because I guess it's a spoiler.
But I mean, I don't think you can bring up predictability because I mean you can.
Well, there's ways
You
to
can
do
say
it. Like Neighbors wasn't predictable.
who did you think was going to win the battle in Anchorman? I mean,
Yeah, but there's also unpredictable
It's
parts
predictable.
of that. You don't really know how that's
I
going to
get-
play out
well,
when you're watching it.
I mean,
Not
you
just the
sort of
battle,
do.
but I mean the entire movie.
The story is just not the point, is what you're getting at. And that's fine with me, because it's just, if you want to get some laughs, then that's where
Well,
you're
the
going
problem
to
is
do
I
it.
didn't really care. Like when
Right, yeah.
Will Ferrell does these things, I don't really care. So the comedy and Amy Poehler, oh my goodness, she's a little too much in this movie, but she was fine. I thought she was fine.
She's kind of always too much.
She's very over the top. There's actually in the beginning when there's like a government meeting, it almost has that Parks and Rec feel. Because they
Okay.
kind of do like some handheld camera and stuff like that. So it was like, oh, I see the homage there. So if you're really looking, you can see in the beginning if you're a Parks and Rec fan. Which I'm not. I've just seen like scenes of it, and I've seen like how the directorial style is. So I kind of picked up on that. So that may be something. There's some Easter eggs. Like there's an emoji that pops up. So here's your Emoji Movie Easter egg.
Nice.
And you can guess what type of emoji pops up.
The turd.
Yeah, it's the poop emoji.
Well, of course.
What
If they're
else?
going to be throwing a
Yeah,
lot
there's
of
plenty
weed
dick
stuff in
jokes,
there,
there's
anyways.
urine jokes, there's drug jokes, but it all just kind of ends up being meaningless. All right. If that's it,
It's
then
comedy.
that's the show.
All right. Well, thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah,
It was
thanks
fun.
for showing up.
Better than
we had-
Audie, for sure.
Yeah, we had a problem with our guest last week, so
And 2 weeks ago, and like every week.
yeah, pretty much.
No,
Oh,
2 weeks ago was Hyatt.
No, 3 weeks ago was Hyatt,
It's fine.
right?
Fine. I don't know.
Yeah, 3 weeks ago was Hyatt. 2 weeks ago was the How I Met Your Mother thing.
Oh, yeah? I'm a fan.
Yeah, Alok is watching through that, and that was his segment.
Yeah, I've
well,
watched through it a couple of times. It's a very well-written show.
Yeah.
Just
not
a
for-
side note.
Okay.
Yeah, not really. No.
So that's it. Make sure you check out all the other shows on our playlist. The playlist will be in the description below. Thanks for leaving your trivia answers in the comments section for the last video.
Yes, thank you, no one.
Yeah, well,
You have to be nicer to your viewers.
Hey.
yeah.
Be nice to it.
We are gracing our viewers with the glory that is this show.
to it.
Okay.
With our one fan, yeah. We'll check in next week. I'm not sure what we'll be talking about. We'll figure it out from there. Thanks everyone, and goodbye.